Hello and welcome to a fresh new episode of Science Monitor, our weekly update on all that is happening in the field of science and technology in and around the country. I'm Aishwarya Kapoor with you. Let us take a look at the headlines first. Water for crops, making wastewater fit for irrigation. Indian winter is getting hotter, reveals a new study. Life-saving molecules discovered from the poles. And in today's Infocus segment, we will discuss about light and its cultural importance. And now news in detail. Agriculture sector is perhaps one of the hardest hit by the water scarcity in our country. To solve this problem, many a times farmers use wastewater for the purpose of irrigation. But this wastewater can contain toxic and hazardous waste products which ultimately affects the quality of the crops. Now, tackling this issue innovatively is the project Water for Crops from CSIR NIRI. The project promotes recycling of household and industrial wastewater by making it fit for irrigation. And how do they do this? Let us find out.
From households to farm fields, most of our daily activities are dependent on one resource, water. With increasing population and dwindling resources, water is fast becoming a scarce commodity. And most affected by water scarcity is the food production sector involving crop fields. What if the domestic and industrial wastewater can be treated and used in crop production? This is what CSIR NERI's Water for Crops project is all about. Water for Crops, an Indo-European research and development project funded by Department of Biotechnology and coordinated by Dr. Asha A. Juvarkar from CSIR's National Environmental Engineering Research Institute, has come up with an efficient technology to treat domestic and industrial wastewater using phytosystems to make them fit for irrigation.
We got one Indo-European project in which the title is Water for Crop, in which one of the tasks is biotreatment of wastewater from agro-food industries and sewage.
The wastewater treatment phytosystem, known as engineered constructed wetlands, is an advanced kind of constructed wetlands which makes use of a combination of biological, chemical and physical processes and makes use of natural materials, sunlight and plants to purify wastewater.
The wetland system which we have constructed here is about 5 meter by 3 meter in dimension, and it consists of mainly sand, soil and gravel to be the filter media. Along with this, we have taken the plants from the particular wastewater where we have taken the wastewater itself. The wastewater which has been treated comes to the outlet or the collection tank. This wastewater after treatment is being used for irrigation.
The engineered constructed wetlands mimics the processes occurring in natural treatment wetlands. But the operating conditions are more actively monitored, manipulated and controlled than the ordinary constructed wetland systems. Under the project, a pilot scale of the system has been constructed in a crop field at Pandher Kawada village in Nagpur district, with the dimensions 5 by 3 by 1. The ECW comprise an inlet tank, a filtration unit and an outlet tank. While the heavier sediment particles along with attached nutrients settle out in the basin, the pollutants are filtered out by the filtering media like coarse sand, soil and gravel of different sizes. The plants and the communities of microorganisms take up nutrients like nitrogen and phosphorus and purify the water, which can then be used for irrigation.
इनका प्लांट डाला, अभी वो प्लांट में वो पानी फिल्टर करके अभी डाल रहे, तो थोड़ा अच्छा ग्री डाला, कुछ क्रॉप्स में ये पानी डाल रहे, कुछ क्रॉप्स में रॉ वाटर मटेरियल रॉ वाटर है कि नहीं वो चालू है। तो इसमें जो रॉ वाटर का है तो उसका ग्रिड कम आ रहा और इसका ग्रिड ज़्यादा आ रहा, जो इसका पानी अपन यूज कर रहे हैं अभी में। और ऊपर उस पानी के अपन पानी से जब वो मिट्टी लगती ये लिखती तो अपने को पैरों में हाथों में खुजली होती थी। इस पानी से कुछ हो नहीं रहा, तो एक अच्छा कारण बन गया इसका।
The system makes use of plants like typhae, latifolia, vetiveria, zizanoids and lemongrass for their capability of diffusing oxygen through the roots, which help in reducing the chemical and biological oxygen demand, and also aids in the absorption of harmful pathogens. Costing only 20 to 30,000, the engineered constructed wetland provides a decentralized low-cost option for the recycling of wastewater for irrigation in small local farming communities.
Last week of October has marked the arrival of winter this year. While we all are gearing up to endure the cold winters, the scientists say that the winters are becoming warmer in India. This fact is the outcome of the study done by the Indian Met Department. While there is an overall rise in the temperature rise becomes more evident during the winter months. Let us have a look at the report to know the reason behind this.
Come November, and the northern part of the country prepares itself to embrace the winters. But as the natives have experienced, the cold winters of North India are no longer what it used to be. And to prove this is the evidence from a study conducted by the Indian Meteorological Department. The study indicates how winter warming trends in the country have accelerated in recent decades, resulting in hotter winters across India over the last century. While results show significant warming in all seasons, but the increase in temperature is more evident in the colder months. According to the results, while the average maximum temperature of December and February has increased by 1.5 degrees Celsius over the past few years, November has become warmer by 1.4 degrees Celsius and the maximum temperature of October has increased by 1.1 degrees Celsius. The study suggests that the annual mean temperature of the country, which refers to the average temperature for the entire year at a location, has increased by 0.6 degrees Celsius.
There is an increase in the temperature. This has been confirmed through monitoring and observations. It is not a forecast, it is an observed fact that the temperature has increased. Globally, there is increase in temperature. India also, the temperature has increased over the last 100 years. There has been an increase in the temperature by 0.6 degrees centigrade over the country as a whole. Annual temperature, mean average temperature, it has increased. But the maximum increase in temperature is in the post-monsoon season and the winter season. That means November, December, October, November, December, January, February. These are the 4-5 months where the increase in temperature is more, and the increase in minimum temperature is more than the maximum temperature. And this all summarize, if you say, that it can be said that yes, winters are becoming warmer.
The rise in mean and the maximum temperature in each decade since 1901 has been continuous. Researchers hypothesize that the rise in temperature could be due to the increase in aerosol emissions. This year, the warm winter months have also coincided with poor rains across the country, and especially in Maharashtra and Karnataka, which has affected the seasonal pulse crops. According to experts, the rise in temperature might also adversely affect the winter crops that are sown and usually harvested around January.
The polar ice caps represent the harshest conditions on the Earth. While it is difficult for the humans to survive for long in these regions without the specialized support, there are life forms which have evolved to endure the harsh environment of the poles. And some of these microbes are so extraordinary that they can be used to cure life-threatening diseases like cancer and AIDS due to their unique properties. Now, this breakthrough discovery has been done by a team of Indian researchers. So let us see the report to know more about these extraordinary life forms.
Arctic and Antarctic. The names conjure images of vast ice-covered lands where life is extremely difficult. But these ice deserts harbor extraordinary microbes that might have cure for cancer, along with many other fascinating properties. The discovery comes from the scientists of National Center for Antarctica and Ocean Research in Goa, who have been conducting research expeditions to the Arctic and Antarctica. The team, led by Dr. Shiv Mohan Singh, has identified unique molecules with anti-cancer and anti-freeze properties from microorganisms dwelling in the polar areas. The anti-cancer molecule called thalebolan has been isolated from a fungus called Thalebolus microsporus, collected from the Larsman Hills in the Antarctica. The molecule has been demonstrated to stop the multiplication of cancerous cells. According to the researchers, thalebolan also helps boost immunity and can be beneficial for people suffering from HIV/AIDS. Hence, the fungus can be used as a nutraceutical to boost immunity. Researchers from NCAOR have also identified 8 new bacterial strains that have been demonstrated to have anti-freeze properties. The strains were discovered from the glaciers in the Arctic region. The organisms are extraordinary as they possess unique anti-freeze proteins which help the organisms survive in the extreme cold temperatures by lowering the freezing point of water and preventing the formation of ice crystals. The researchers have been able to grow the bacteria in the laboratory and isolate the special anti-freeze proteins from these cell cultures. According to experts, these anti-freeze proteins will find crucial applications in the area of cryopreservation, like increasing the shelf life of human organs or helping to store blood for longer durations. Inspired by these new discoveries, the Ministry of Earth Sciences has flagged off research to discover new organisms with such extraordinary properties from high-altitude Himalayan glaciers.
And now it is time to take a short break. We'll be right back. Keep watching Science Monitor. Welcome back. After the break, you're watching Science Monitor. Let us now have a look at some important science and technology activities happening in India and abroad in our next segment, Science Express.
The 7th Nuclear Energy Conclave, based on the theme Creating Conditions for Rapid Capacity Addition on Nuclear Power in India, was recently conducted in Delhi. The conclave, organized by India Energy Forum, was inaugurated by the Union Minister of State, Atomic Energy and Space, Dr. Jitendra Singh. Speaking on the occasion, Dr. Singh appreciated the contributions of Department of Atomic Energy in the fields of health, literacy and clean drinking water and on the economic front, and stressed on the importance of nuclear energy for countries' long-term energy security. Many renowned leaders like Dr. Sekhar Basu, Chairman Atomic Energy Commission, Dr. Anil Kakorkar, former Chairman Atomic Energy Commission, and Shri P.S. Bami, President India Energy Forum, also spoke in the inaugural session. In a major step towards extending collaboration in energy sector, India and Indonesia has signed an MOU to cooperate in the fields of renewable energy and culture. The MOU comes in the wake of both countries targeting to reduce its carbon footprint by 35% and 29% respectively by 2030. The pact was signed during a recent visit of Vice President Hamid Ansari to Jakarta. A recent report published in the Journal of the Bombay Natural History Society draws attention to the 21 cases of rabid mongoose attacking humans in Idakkad, Kerala. The attacks that happened in 2010 have been reported by two researchers from the Kerala Forest Research Institute, E.A. Jason and Suresh K. Govind. This report for the first time sheds light on how mongooses can spread rabies and indicates how unscientific management of domestic waste could lead to the spread of rabies to wild animals. A new study published in the journal Nature Climate Change by the researchers at the University of Colorado, Boulder, has revealed that the Arctic Ocean is warming and the ice is rapidly melting, as a result of which the ocean is likely to have less ice and more water by 2050. The study is based on climate simulations to see how the number of open water or sea ice-free days changed from 1850 to 2100 in Arctic Ocean. According to the evidences, some sites in the Arctic Ocean, once covered by sea ice, may see more than 100 additional days of open water by 2050, which may grow up to 22 days by 2070. November 3rd marked the 15th anniversary of the famous International Space Station. The orbiting space station that flies about 250 miles above Earth has been facilitating crucial experiments on human physiology during space travel. The station is scheduled for over 400 experiments on board over the next year and is expected to remain operational until at least 2024.
Would life have been possible in a dark world? Perhaps not. More and more research states that overall physical and mental well-being of humans largely depend on the light as much as it depends on nutrition and rest. Perhaps this is the reason why light has a deep-rooted cultural significance. As anthropologists would point out, from ancient to modern, all civilization revered light as a form of energy. In today's Infocus segment, let us explore the cultural significance of light in our world.
Diwali, the festival of lights, as we all know, celebrates the triumph of good over evil. Diwali also celebrates one crucial component that made life possible on Earth: light. Every researcher today would agree that life would not have been possible on Earth in the absence of light. The first seeds of life on Earth must have been sown when about 4.5 billion years ago, a swirling nebula was formed that contracted and grew into a dense, molten, glowing mass that became our Sun, and which started shining through the process of thermonuclear hydrogen fusion. Light, hence, is that crucial component besides water and air that made life possible on Earth.
In fact, light, you can say light we are getting from the sun. In fact, all life forms get energy and light from the sun. That is the prime source, and that is how the life on this earth became possible. And if you go back to age-old, to prehistoric time, then there also people used to say at night they had nothing to do, and therefore they used to wait for sunrise, and that was, the sun was, slowly it occurred to them, the sunlight associated with everything, with their livelihood, with their well-being, with their happiness, joy, everything.
From photosynthesis to vision and general well-being, light is important for all aspects of health and life. Primitive man was afraid of the darkness as it spelled peril and many hidden dangers. Freedom came in the form of artificial light with the discovery of fire. Perhaps that is why ancient civilizations considered the sun, moon, fire, and any source of light as God and worshipped them. The belief still continues among the most of the major religions of the world, which consider light as energy. Modern science has proved that light indeed is a kind of electromagnetic radiation and is made of small packets of energy called photons. Human beings share a deep relationship to light through recorded history, including the science of light and its most modern applications. Ever wondered why expensive restaurants have a dimly lit ambience, while cheaper ones have bright, flashy lights? According to anthropologists, primitive humans dwelling in caves started eating together after the discovery of light. The dimly lighted caves offered a sense of stability and security, a sense which has been passed on through generations. Such is the cultural significance of light. According to Hindu mythology, light has a profound philosophy, and lack of light equates to hopelessness, sadness, and ignorance.
Life, in fact, symbolizes wisdom throughout the world, and it is a symbol of knowledge also. And therefore, it can be envisaged like this: every person is like a candle, and he has to dispense with darkness. And darkness of ignorance, darkness of superstitions, and so on. So light is a weapon in the hands of humankind, and that is a very, very potential weapon. And well-being, mood, etc., all governed by light.
Beliefs apart, many of us must have experienced the phenomena called winter blues, the seasonal depression caused due to lack of light in foggy winters. Winter blues, which manifests itself as mood swings, reduced sleep and energy, and mild to severe depression is observed to decrease as it becomes sunny, as exposure to light regulate the production of the hormone called melatonin. Many cultures also recognize the importance of right quantity and intensity of light at the right time of day. Perhaps this is the reason behind ancient practices like Surya Namaskar. According to modern science, the bright light of the morning acts as signals for our internal body clock. The light is also absorbed by the skin to stimulate important chemical reactions in the blood and other tissues, including synthesis of vitamin D and curing jaundice in infants. Today, light is no longer a mysterious substance, as ancient humans considered it to be, and modern science offers explanations to most of the light-related phenomenon.
Different fields, myriad fields, without light, you can go to, say, to a biology lab or these medical practitioners. They use spectrometers, they use microscopes, etc. They are all based on light. X-rays. That is nothing, a form of light, form of electromagnetic spectrum. Then you have photography, and even in cultural events you have dance, drama, cinematography. Everywhere light has a role to play.
With the world realizing that understanding the science of light is essential for the betterment of lives, the year 2015 has been dedicated to light and is being celebrated as International Year of Light.
Well, that is all for this episode of Science Monitor. Do tell us how you like our program. You can send your feedback and suggestions. Our email ID is news@vigyanprasar.gov.in. You can also write into us at Vigyan Prasar, C24, Qutub Institutional Area, New Delhi 110016. Well, that is all for today. We'll be back with fresh news stories on science and technology again next week. Till then, keep watching Rajya Sabha TV. Bye-bye.